Okay, so this is the third part to the damage control series. I already did a video on Bayley basically explaining why she's the least relevant out of the four horse girls. So I think this video is probably going to be shorter compared to the Io and Dakota video. I haven't done a video in a while, so I'm probably going to start stuttering a lot because it's been weeks since I've done a YouTube video because of school and all that stuff. So Bayley is the leader of damage control. For those who may not know, if you're wondering who the leader is, it's Bayley. She is the leader. She's the leader of the faction. She is the founder and CEO of damage control. And when she first came back with Io and Dakota by her side, and she was going to lead a stable, I'm not gonna lie, I had my doubts because we know Bayley is not, she's not really the type you would expect to lead a stable, let alone a successful stable. But she has been the leader of damage control, and she has done a good job, but I think there's some stuff that could be a little better when it comes to her being the leader. Number one, the losing streak damage control has been on, and they're supposed to be the dominant stable that everybody's supposed to be scared. It's not really looking like they're the stable people or what the women's division, the women's roster is supposed to be scared of, because they always lose their matches. They always get beat up. They always get, jumped, or not even jumped. They're the one. Damage control will jump somebody, and then they'll get beat up, and it's just like, how? And then Io Sky, and Dakota Kai are the women's tag team champions. Bayley has competed for the Raw Women's Championship, I want to say 3 or 4 times already. And she's lost every single match. I'm not complaining because I don't want her as champion. But the fact that you're supposed to be the leader and your lackeys are champions, but you are not, it's like, what are you? And then Bayley's more established on the main roster than Io and Dakota combined. So, and she has more accolades in WWE at least. And NXT combined compared to Io and Dakota, and she's a part of the four horsewomen. So you would think that WWE would try to build Bayley up more dominantly, or they would give her more wins versus more losses, but they're not doing that. The only win Bayley got over Bianca Belair was the Clash of the Castle tag team match, and that the match they had on Raw, it happened like a couple weeks back. It wasn't really too long ago. It was like maybe a month ago, probably. I think it was before Crown Jewel. Is it Crown? Yeah, before Crown Jewel. It was a Raw before Crown Jewel. Nikki Cross came back, whatever. So the question that remains on probably all of our minds is, why is Bayley supposed to be the leader? But it seems like she's literally booked like the worst member, and she's the leader. Well, for one, I don't really think Bayley should be leading a stable because she can barely lead herself as a wrestler. That's not to be mean. It's just the truth. Bayley was a good wrestler. Bayley was putting up good matches. Was, past tense. Bayley currently has not put up a good match since the Bianca Belair match at Extreme Rules. And that match wasn't even, match of the year contender in my opinion. It wasn't bad, but it wasn't great. It was just like, you guys did what you could. We love, that we are getting more women on the card with stipulation matches, but it wasn't really a match you would, if you were to go walk across the street and your neighbor doesn't watch wrestling, you go walk across the street and you're like, hey, do you want to watch wrestling? You wouldn't say, let's watch Bayley versus Bianca Belair at Extreme Rules 2022. You wouldn't say, let's watch Bayley versus Bianca Belair at Crown Jewel 2022. You wouldn't say, I know a good match, and then you put on the Clash of the Castle. You wouldn't do, you get my point. Bayley has not really been putting up these good matches that she used to put up, like when she was in NXT and her early main roster days. She's really a hitter. I said this in my other video about her. She's really just a hit or miss right now. Is she mid overall as a wrestler? No. Like, if you combine all her years of wrestling, I don't think she's mid overall. But currently, I do think she's mid. I don't think she's like trash. I don't think she's bad like Mandy Rose or nothing. But I don't think she's this top tier competitor that she's hyped up to be. And a lot of people may hype her up to be like this 5-star match of the year. Match of the year candidate. I don't really see that for Bayley currently right now, especially because her and Bianca Belair already barely have chemistry. And so it's like you can't really say, oh, Bayley is like this best wrestler in the world, and then you watch the match with Bianca Belair, and it's just like, are you sure? I personally wouldn't rank her top 5 or top 10 or top 15 or top 20, top 30. I would probably rank her a good top 50 if I'm gonna base it off of ring skill. And this is overall. Currently, I would probably rank her like top 80, maybe lower. I don't know. She's just not as good as she used to be, in my opinion. I don't know what's really holding her back. Maybe she's scared to get injured again, which is understandable. I would say maybe it's ring rust, but she's been wrestling for months. Since SummerSlam was in July, it's December. I don't really think ring rust is really in the question, but I'm not trying to drag her. I'm just saying, I just don't think you can really use ring rust as an excuse. And I maybe they gotta travel all the time, and their bodies maybe. I get that, but it's just like, you've been doing this for years, and it's just like you're not really eating the way you were back then. It's just like, what's going on? And I just feel like for her to come back in a stable with 2 wrestlers, I mean, I get why she's the leader of Damage Control, because Dakota and Io lack personality and character. And on the main roster, like Coco said, speaking of Coco, he hit 1K. Congratulations, so proud of him. On the main roster, he said that you need both character and wrestling, which I agree. Because on the main roster, I think people look more for character. I'm not gonna say, they don't. It's not that they don't look for wrestling, but I feel like on the main roster, people connect more with your character more than they do with your wrestling. I think that's just me, because I feel like if you're just a good wrestler, a lot of people just won't pay attention. It's not that they won't pay attention to you, but they probably won't be as interested in you unless you're a high flyer or a powerhouse. That's it, really. As far as Bayley being the leader of Damage Control, Dakota doesn't really have a character, and her ring skills are deteriorated. Io, she's finding her groove again, but she's still not the same in the ring, and she never really had a lot of personality, in my opinion. While being signed to WWE, she was just a good wrestler, a great wrestler. But if it came to personality and character, it was just kind of like, oh, okay, well, what's your name? And then she just look at you like, I don't like you, and just walk away. And she's like, great talk. We nailed that. I'll see you next week. All right, really not really getting anything out of her. Ever since they've been in Damage Control, they have been, Dakota Kai and Io Shirai have shown more personality and more, charisma, and more something to make them more appealing as competitors, because all they really had before was wrestling. Dakota, she had some mic moments, but personally, they never really intrigued me that much. Personally, that's just me. And I feel like with Bayley being the leader, because she's lacking it, I feel like they all have something that the other lacks. Io and Dakota, well, no, yes, compared to Bayley. They have the ring skill compared to Bayley, but Bayley has the personality compared to them. And so I like that they're in a stable, because they're able to bounce off of one another, because Bayley's helping them develop a personality more. Io and Dakota are, I don't really think they're really helping her in the ring, but they are. If Bayley's lacking in the ring, they'll be like, okay, we got you. You got this, I got this, you got this, we good, all right. But even with Bayley in the ring, I feel like, her ring skills just have deteriorated a lot. When you come back, and I look at Becky Lynch, for example. She came back, and she went from being, in 2019, early 2020, she went from being a mediocre in-ring competitor, and a mediocre, character, to this top-tier character, good in the ring. She went from mediocre to good. Storytelling ability increased tremendously, adding new moves to her movesets, changing up her in-ring sequences, all that good stuff. With Bayley, I feel like her mic skills have improved. I feel like her character work has improved. I think she's funnier than ever. But her ring skills, it's just kind of like, now Bayley, you had years, like literally years, or a year to, do something, to improve. I'm not really seeing that. The only moves that she's really added to her moveset are the moves Sasha does, because she walked out with Naomi. Bayley did the bank statement, and she did that that thing where Sasha does the knee stomp, and they're the opponent's hanging between the ropes. Melina does it too. I hope you guys know what I'm talking about. I think it's called a knee stomp. I don't know. The double knee stomp, we're gonna call it that. That's really all. And then she does instead of you know how she does like a basement clothesline, instead of doing it from the front, sometimes she'll do it from the back, and it's just like, okay, yeah, good for you. But there hasn't really been anything appealing about Bayley that much. I feel like more people, a lot of people who I've seen say that they are Damage Control stans are saying that they prefer either Io or Dakota. Some people like Bayley because, they've just been a Bayley fan since the longest. But I've seen a lot of people saying, oh, Dakota, she's really standing out to me. Oh, Io's standing out to me. With Bayley, it's just kind of like, she's there. I like her too. She's a really pretty girl. Like, she's really talented, she's really good. Like, she is still here after all these years, and she's here. Oh, she's definitely here. Like, she's still there, right there, in that ring, standing. She's there. Yeah, good for her. That's so good for her. It's she's there. She's good, but she's good where she's at. Financially stable. She's successful. We love that for her. You see, like, there's really nothing that people really find as appealing about Bayley. Like, they're finding with Dakota and Io, and it's just like, I don't know. I don't know what it is. I understand why they're paired together. I'm just not really liking the pairing. But you know what? I want to say, like, we're gonna see where this goes, but it's been months and they've been champions twice. At this point, only God can do it. If God doesn't fix it, if God doesn't do it, it just won't get done. And it looks like it's just not gonna get done. Jesus looked down, and he looked down from heaven. He saw Damage Control. He was like, can't do that one. And he went back to doing what he was doing. So pray, y'all. All we can do is pray. Fix it, Black Jesus, in the name of Jesus. Hallelujah. Amen. But I hope you guys like this series. I said I was going to do a video about them as a group together, but I kind of tied that into this one when I didn't mean to, but it's whatever. I hope you guys enjoyed this video as much as I love doing it, the series as well. Like, comment, share, subscribe, promotes. Go follow at Aries Pipe Bomb. He's about to hit 2K. He's at 1.4K, 1.5K. Follow King of Women's Wrestling Fan. He's at 800. He's about to hit 1K soon. Let's go get them up, get their followers up. Yeah, I think that's it. Like I said before, like, comment, share, subscribe, promote, and help Black businesses. Thank you, and have a great Sunday.